the gaming industry is introducing a wave of original IPs in 2026, with developers focusing on fresh ideas instead of relying on sequels and established franchises. These new titles aim to stand out through unique worlds, experimental gameplay systems, and creative direction that could shape the future of AAA gaming. Let's get into it.
21 мая 1986 года. Объект заказ 6. Системная проверка.
Fragmentary Order is a hardcore sci-fi extraction shooter set in 2251. Players control remote clone units from Earth to carry out contracts across the solar system under an AI-led corporation called Core. Gameplay uses first-person tactical combat, resource collection, and objective-based missions. Each operation requires careful planning, precise execution, and survival against hostile forces within a structured, system-driven combat environment.
That changed the course of history, although no one knew about it. During the years of strife, many turned to the most primitive ways of solving problems. Everyone for themselves is what it was. We had to change it. It took many years and a lot of effort to make everyone come to terms, our terms. Not everyone agreed, and they suffered for it, but most took it as a salvation. A new world order was established.
The peace treaty is currently being concluded under the leadership of the Core.
With the help of Core reestablishment structure, although the land was tired to keep life on it. That's why Core created the purification program, and each of us can participate.
And then, the great industrialization began. A relentless process that endures to this day, forging a vast reservoir of innovation that propelled production volumes and quality to unprecedented heights. We had to move forward. The only logical solution to saving humanity was space and its resources. But we were barely ready for it. Yet, something happened.
Anomaly detected.
We appear to be...
Was it foreseen? Or was it a miracle? Only the forefathers know.
Atmospheric seal confirmed. Prepare for infill. Span out. Secure the perimeter. Target location is 200 meters ahead. Stand by. Stand by. Copy. I'm moving. Fuck! Enemies in the building! Get to cover!
Our guidance made humanity united, gave them purpose, but did not remove the greed or hold grudges. Yet, it gave just enough to make almost everyone move into the future. The new golden age of humanity has started. We have left our old cradle behind and head for the unknown. Ready and dedicated. We removed our old boundaries with advanced core technologies.
Striking contact. Battlecruiser 04.
We started the Renaissance to last forever.
Our knees! Lead us forward! Lead us!
Confirming backup trajectory for Mars Uno. We're maintaining 300,000 clicks trailing position as instructed. Established on the glide 4.4.
Copy, Buzzard. Priority vessel Mars Uno. Crane across.
Old disagreements, old ideologies. To contest that, humanity has risen to levels unreachable before.
No one expected them to act that way. When we were given the responsibility of developing this colony, no one expected those PCF thugs to start attacking everybody. I think they were happy before we came, huh? We will pacify them. Our forces are more than capable. I'm sure.
We build a better place for us and future generations. We are the core that keeps you in belief.
They helped us build it. We didn't fucking do anything. Earn real money around the system sitting on a fucking island.
He's leaving the table. This is
Kari, learn how to work.
We built the world on truth,
Units are being dispatched to contain the situation.
decency, and faith in humanity.
Next time, order better toys and mod some damn repents. Now get the fuck out of here.
Now is the time to wait and see.
Waking life is a fragile balance. The light burns, the darkness drowns.
Koshmar: The Last Reverie is an action-adventure game where players control Violet, a mortician's daughter moving between reality and dream spaces in a city affected by a sleeping plague. Gameplay includes combat using dream and nightmare abilities, skill tree choices, and a sanity system that changes her state through decisions. Players navigate districts, enter nightmare rifts, defeat enemies, gather rewards, and seal these areas to wake affected citizens.
In your shadow. When nightmares reign and the world chokes in its sleep, this power corrupts, consumes, contorts. Embrace it, wield it, or fight it.
Tsarevna: Age of Tales is an action slasher built around ballet-inspired combat, where players control the Swan Tsarevna, a warrior fighting against dark forces. Gameplay uses rhythm-based attacks, combo chaining, and precise dodges to increase performance and damage. The weapon changes form during combat, shifting between a sword and ranged daggers. Players fight enemies across different realms, use tag team abilities with a companion, and face bosses based on Slavic folklore.
To them all.
전하께 아뢰옵니다. 선천의 초목이.
Moosa: Dirty Fate is an action-adventure game set in 17th century Korea during famine and social collapse, where players control a fallen warrior named Gun who uses sword and bow in combat against demons, hostile factions, and large creatures based on folklore. Gameplay includes close combat, ranged attacks, large-scale battles, and one-on-one boss fights, with encounters built around timing, positioning, and adapting between different combat situations.
나라의 기둥이 무너지고 있사옵니다, 전하. 게다가 삼남 지방에는 정체를 알 수 없는 무리들이 출몰하여 고을을 불태우고 백성들과 관리들을 무참히 도륙하고 있사옵니다. 바라옵건대 전하, 부디 백성들을 구하여 주소서.
Well, Mr. Walker, we both know you have your...
The Pines is a psychological horror RPG where players control former detective Edward Walker investigating a secluded retreat with hidden threats beneath its calm setting. Gameplay includes character progression, skill and perk systems, and decision-making that changes interactions and outcomes. Players gather clues, connect stories, and choose how to approach situations through dialogue, combat, or investigation, while a stalker system reacts to actions and can turn certain characters into persistent threats.
To the Pines.
Do you really believe they tell you the whole truth, nothing but the truth, and all that bullshit?
Well, hello there.
It's the pigs. They talk to me. Whisper even sometimes. There is a whole lot more going on here than you can even start to imagine, Mr. Walker.
Decrepit is a first-person action game with Souls-like combat set in a forsaken castle, where players fight through interconnected areas and return to the dungeon after each death with lost gear. Gameplay uses stamina-based melee and magic, requiring timing, positioning, and reading enemy patterns. Each run starts in a different cell, while collected weapons, armor, and staffs define playstyle, with exploration focused on learning shortcuts, enemy placements, and progression routes.
It's a simple job. For men with...
Cordura is a cooperative psychological horror game where up to 4 players enter shifting Victorian labyrinths to collect resources and escape while managing sanity and coordinating as a team. Gameplay includes procedural maps, proximity voice, communication, and a system where an entity can mimic teammates in appearance and voice to create confusion. Players must track threats, stay together to recover sanity, and survive encounters where mistakes, separation, or loss of trust can lead to permanent death.
And keep it quiet. We don't know what happens in there, but that place, it twists men. And above all, remember, those places must remain closed. You see, it's a simple job.
Port Desire. A city that don't belong to anyone, but everyone wants a piece.
No Law is a first-person action RPG set in a cyberpunk city called Port Desire, where players control Gray Harker, an ex-military character navigating a place without formal rules. Gameplay includes shooting, stealth, and character-driven choices that affect interactions and outcomes. Players can approach missions using direct combat or tactical movement, use upgrades and devices, and move through vertical environments while dealing with factions, encounters, and consequences tied to their actions.
But desire is a fickle mistress. The city won't let me go. It won't forget my name. I asked for nothing, and they still came and took everything. The mayors and anyone that stands in my way, every last one of them. They're gonna learn something real simple. You reap what you sow.
Knight's Path is a story-driven action RPG set in a low-fantasy world where players control Alric, a disgraced noble rebuilding his status through combat and choices. Gameplay uses HEMA-inspired sword fighting with emphasis on timing, positioning, parrying, and controlled strikes. Progression improves skills through practice, changing movement and combat efficiency, while armor and equipment affect protection and tactics, with missions, faction alignment, and events shaping how characters respond and how situations unfold.
Just take care of your little freaking robo-zoo and let me do my thing.
Artificial Detective is a third-person action-adventure game where players control a robot detective investigating a city controlled by rogue machines while working with a robo-dog and a human companion. Gameplay includes combat using electromagnetic weapons, hacking systems, stealth options, and environmental interactions. Players gather clues, manage resources, and unlock abilities through teamwork, with progression tied to upgrading companions, solving encounters in different ways, and uncovering the reason behind humanity's disappearance.
I'm a detective, not a babysitter, all right? What the f...
What the hell happened here?
Alien Deathstorm is a first-person action game set on a devastated off-world colony, where players take the role of a combat engineer investigating a disaster caused by a massive storm and hostile alien creatures. Gameplay combines shooting with survival elements, where players manage threats from both enemies and environmental hazards, use weapons and movement to stay alive, and navigate changing conditions as storms alter areas and force constant adaptation during encounters.
Warning. Adverse weather conditions detected. Wind speeds reaching survival threshold. Seek shelter.
As you are...
Crop is a farming simulation and thriller, where players manage a failing farm while uncovering hidden secrets tied to a nearby village. Gameplay includes digging, planting, irrigation, repairing equipment, and maintaining crops to sustain the population. Players balance daily farm tasks with investigation, managing resources, preventing pests, and improving soil quality. While choices in how the land is organized and how clues are pursued affect survival and progression.
And you will reap what you sow.
Please! Over here!
Ontos is a sci-fi mystery adventure set on a repurposed moon hotel called Samsara, where players control Aditi Amani investigating experiments linked to her father. Gameplay includes solving system-based puzzles, interacting with machinery, and managing resources while making decisions that affect outcomes. Players move through interconnected areas, examine clues, and complete experimental trials that test logic and judgment, with encounters and choices shaping how events unfold and how the underlying truth is revealed.
Your father thought he knew, and it inspired him to grant wishes.
Who's that? Nightmare. Yes!
That's why all of us are here. You want to understand, to know. Then you have to step beyond the walls surround you. Play your father's game. Push the very limits. Until you're in reality itself.
Heroes arrived unnoticed. Until it was too late.
/0 is a 3D roguelike action platformer set in a cyberpunk setting where players control a time hacker traveling across timelines to fight enemies and uncover hidden truths. Gameplay includes fast-paced combat with aerial combos, movement using dashes and parkour actions, and build customization through items and upgrades. Players progress by collecting resources, adjusting playstyles, and completing runs across changing levels while improving abilities through repeated attempts.
One false timeline after another. Until the Lord of the Void stands before us. Then, end this. As time hackers, this is our destiny. No matter how many times it repeats, I'll be here, waiting. Until you see the truth.
TankRat is an action game set in a post-apocalyptic wasteland, where players control a digitized consciousness operating machines to survive and progress through hostile areas. Gameplay includes switching between a fast drone and larger combat tanks, engaging in vehicular combat against mech enemies, and scavenging parts from defeated units. Collected materials are used to upgrade armor, weapons, and systems, with each run focused on rebuilding equipment and adapting to changing combat situations.
Fine.
Supreme Experiment is a first-person action-adventure game set in a world where machines have formed their own systems after humans retreated to sky cities. Players descend to the surface to investigate a shutdown in resource supply. Gameplay includes shooting, hacking terminals, and gathering information to uncover events. A system linked to a neural implant reveals a parallel dimension, adding new areas and interactions, while encounters involve combat and decision-making.
A new species, trying to survive, fighting for scraps, searching for truth. An abandoned, poisoned wasteland, crawling with creatures beyond imagination. Down here, humans don't belong. For those who left the city, it's a one-way ticket. But they go for a reason. This evolution of the machines was not random. There's something vast behind it. And it's coming for everyone. Not just the machines. The people in the cities don't know it yet. But soon they will.
The Godslayer is an open-world action RPG set in a steampunk city where players control Cheng, an Elemancer, using elemental powers to fight Celestials and opposing forces. Gameplay includes combat built around interactions between elements such as fire, water, and earth, along with skill upgrades and abilities learned from scrolls and mentors. Players navigate factions, build alliances, and take on missions where choices and strategy affect encounters and progression. The Florist is a survival horror game set in a town overrun by dangerous plant growth, where players control Jessica Park, navigating areas affected by a spreading infection. Gameplay includes solving puzzles, managing resources, and using weapons to defeat enemies created by the outbreak. Fixed camera angles are used for visibility and tension, while players move through changing locations, uncover clues, and work through interconnected areas to understand the cause of the events.
Ventured into OG's territory alone. You sure you thought this through?
Zoopunk is a third-person action RPG set in a dieselpunk setting where players control anthropomorphic characters fighting a mechanical legion. Gameplay includes fast-paced combat with combos, aerial attacks, finishers, and switching between different playable characters. Encounters require timing dodges and parries against large enemies, while progression involves using a central base and managing abilities and combat styles to handle varied situations across different areas.
I got it. You really fixing to gamble with it?
1 for 5. It's worth a shot.
Are you worried something might go wrong?
Wrong? I'm counting on it.
It's mine now. Finish him.
Give it back!
Walked right in himself, huh? It's all yours now, boss.
Good work. Now with this, even the Machine Legion doesn't stand a chance against me.
What? Huh? Come to Papa!
Right on time! Miss me?
Gotta hand it to you this time, Ray.
If Tron hadn't planned ahead and sent us as backup, you'd be done for.
Mission done? Let me take a look. All accounted for. What's next?
It's time to save Torch City.
Hypnos is a first-person adventure game set in a surreal megastructure where players navigate the nameless city and surrounding areas tied to a dreamlike setting. Gameplay includes moving through semi-open environments, interacting with characters, and making dialogue choices that affect outcomes. Players solve mysteries, uncover story elements, and engage with systems that alter surroundings, while progression involves discovering paths, encountering different figures, and reaching multiple possible endings. Eggspedition is a survival horror game where players complete missions on dangerous planets inhabited by dinosaurs while working solo or in teams of up to 4. Gameplay includes exploring areas, securing objectives such as retrieving eggs or materials, and extracting safely under threat. Players face different dinosaur types with distinct behaviors, coordinate roles in co-op, and use weapons, gear upgrades, and abilities to handle changing mission conditions and survive encounters. Reblade the Death Spiral is an action game set in a cyberpunk setting inspired by Chinese mythology where players control a synthetic trapped in repeating cycles of combat and progression. Gameplay includes fighting mechanical enemies using weapons, chips, and augments that define builds for each run. Combat relies on timing, reading enemy patterns, and balancing offense and defense, while repeated attempts allow players to improve strategies and advance through increasingly challenging encounters. Resonant Q is a survival action game set on a collapsing orbital structure where players complete high-risk runs to hunt anomalies and extract resources. Gameplay includes third-person shooting, managing a single energy resource that powers weapons, abilities, scanning, and systems, and deciding how to use it during missions. Players return to a base to craft and upgrade gear, with progression tied to improving equipment and handling increasing threats across different sectors.
A cultivated shell. Transplanted memories.
Project DNA is an action MMORPG set in a post-apocalyptic future where players take part in rebuilding civilization after a global disaster. Gameplay includes fast-paced, non-target combat that relies on movement, dodging, and precision instead of automated systems. Progression is based on a genetic evolution system where characters change through DNA analysis rather than fixed classes, allowing different builds and abilities while players face enemies, large creatures, and missions across ruined environments. WarDogs is a large-scale tactical FPS where up to 100 players split into 3 teams compete to control dynamic zones on destructible maps. Gameplay includes realistic gunplay, vehicles, base building, and support roles, with each life allowing players to purchase weapons and equipment using earned cash. Actions such as combat, transport, and reviving teammates generate income, while matches revolve around coordinated strategies, controlling objectives, and adapting to changing battlefield conditions.
In the house.
Oh, get out! Let's go!
That was sick.
Try and hit them in front. Go down, go down, go down!
In the house of the rising sun. In the house of the rising. Bushido.
Soul Shogunate is an action RPG set in a futuristic solar system where players control Yazuki, an outlaw ronin fighting across lunar cities ruled by rival clans. Gameplay includes hack-and-slash combat using melee weapons, enhanced with technology and elemental effects, along with skill customization through upgrades. Players move using jetpacks and grapple systems across different gravity environments, engage in multi-phase boss fights, and adapt combat strategies based on enemy behavior and abilities.
決意の刃を研ぎ澄ませたに過ぎない。因縁の大事が叶う時、この空も赤く染まろう。無残なに叫んで汚れた膝を抱えてる。それでもそんな今日は旅したくないから行かなきゃやらなきゃしわくちゃの顔のままで生きるよ。あなたがいないこんな世界も愛せるようにくだらない。
I have dreamt so long of my body that I know everything about it.
Prove You Are Human is an adventure game where players act as a digital copy assigned to test an AI that believes it is human. Gameplay includes interacting with the AI through dialogue, analyzing responses, and working to break its logic while gathering information. Players also move through a virtual space, interact with other characters, and monitor their original self with choices affecting how the situation develops and how the final decision is made.
Where everyone takes their bodies for granted. I would never. When I meet my body, I will never part from her.
I wake up, the same bunk, same time.
Rivage is a sci-fi puzzle adventure set on a space station where players control Miranda searching for her missing crew after a mysterious event. Gameplay includes solving puzzles tied to systems like gravity, magnetism, and machinery while interacting with objects and data logs. Players examine environments, piece together clues from messages and records, and use a logging system to track discoveries as they work through challenges and uncover what happened aboard the station.
Where space and time have stretched and teared, it is all connected somehow. My K9 unit is the only thing that keeps track. It holds the pieces to a story I still don't understand. And until I do, I'll wake up again. And again.
The Alighieri Circle Dante's Bloodline is a first-person adventure game where players control Gabriele Alighieri, dealing with a family legacy tied to sealing a supernatural threat. Gameplay includes exploring a villa and a distorted parallel space, solving puzzles based on riddles, and collecting pages needed for a ritual. Players examine environments, gather documents, and piece together story details, with progression driven by uncovering memories and understanding the events linked to the Bloodline.
No. Death is not an escape. Access to your fate. Accept your fate. Shut up!
The Legend of California is an open-world survival shooter set on a fictional island during the Gold Rush era, where players gather resources, craft items, and build structures to stay alive. Gameplay includes first-person combat for hunting, fighting enemies, and defending territory, along with managing food and supplies. Players can play solo or with others on shared servers, build ranches and facilities, and progress by expanding equipment, land, and capabilities. Masters of Albion is a strategy and simulation game where players act as a god shaping a town and guiding its people, while also taking direct control of characters on the ground. Gameplay includes building structures, managing workers, crafting items, and completing quests. Players switch between an overhead view and character control, interact with the environment using abilities, and defend the settlement during threats that occur as part of the day and night cycle.
Giant floating hand with the power of a god at your fingertips. You can do more than just lollygag.
I have a bad feeling about this.
The Mask of the Masters called, and you have answered, Chosen One.
Is there somebody out there? Help!
Are you ready?
Will you look at them muscles?
Well, good luck to you. Steady employment is what the folks round here need.
Varsapura is an open-world role-playing game set in a modern city affected by supernatural activity where players control a character known as Hollow One, working with an organization that handles these incidents. Gameplay includes switching between characters, using different weapons, and combining combat with stealth to handle enemies. Players move through city areas, enter separate inner spaces for encounters, and customize character appearance while completing missions tied to investigation and combat.
Maybe that wasn't the real.
Me.
You lost belongings due to mind rot? Please visit that counter over there. Mind rot control.
All right, thanks.
How can I help you?
I'd like to join SEAL.
Okay. You'll need to go through the interview process first. This is your application form. Read the instructions and sign to confirm. Once you sign, we'll verify your consciousness. This may cause slight discomfort. Let me see. Consciousness verification completed, preparing the interview. Your number I07. They'll call it out through the announcement system, so please pay attention. It may take a moment. This area is open to visitors. Feel free to look around while you wait.
Although organic matter is more resistant to decomposition, mind rot can severely affect mental health. If exposed, seek medical help immediately. Rest assured, our MRB officers will clear affected areas and reverse the mind rot's effect on your property. Welcome. You're about to observe the process of mind rotting. Note the black substance seeping from the object. This is mind rot.
Number I07. Please proceed to the interview room. Down the hall on the left of the front desk.
Here for an interview?
Yeah, hi,
Well, isn't that something? They really hit the jackpot with candidates like us. Come on, take a seat. There's only so many safety brochures to leaf through. Grab a chair, let's chat for a bit. This whole Shadow Bureau seems so shady. Everyone says they're strict about hiring, but there's no clear standards. They don't even accept resumes. I don't even know how to prepare. But it's not like I have no experience, you know? I've watched Mindbog murders and Shadow Boys several times. Nothing I can't handle.
What's up with the lights?
What do you think is the better pick? Rescue Brigade or SUN?
Did you see that?
Maybe the Brigade? My girlfriend thinks they're hot.
Prism 2033 is a futuristic parallel universe MMORPG developed with Unreal.
Prism 2033 is a multiplayer RPG set across connected parallel worlds, where players act as investigators, completing missions and interacting with different environments. Gameplay includes third-person combat, cooperative activities, and large-scale encounters, such as fleet battles, along with character progression through missions and rewards. Players travel between worlds with changing conditions, interact with NPCs that react dynamically, and customize their own spaces while building relationships and managing activities across sessions.
Forests grow and wither, and seasons shift in real time. Through our information field simulation technology, we can simulate NPCs' 5 senses. In events such as fires, visual and olfactory cues take effect, prompting NPCs to react in different ways. Build affection with NPCs and form families. If you eventually have a child, your offspring will inherit both parents' physical traits and grow under your care. forming genuine emotional bonds over time. Prism 2033 offers rich gameplay. Explore parallel worlds with your team, or lead your guild in massive interstellar fleet wars where starships collide. Spend just a few minutes a day wandering through the parallel worlds to earn beautiful outfits and vehicles. Or create a small world of your own, a place to live with the people you love and build a life together. At launch, the World Co-Creation System goes live. We forge the multiverse together, but your realm is yours alone to rule.